Welcome to Level Up, where you get the score on video games. Proudly made in Canada, by the way. With Canada Day having just passed us, I want to talk about one of the most famous Canadian-related characters, Superman. Don't believe me that he was technically invented by someone born in Canada? Check out this heritage moment.
You Canadian kids.
He'd be in this cape.
A what?
A cape. Wearing these blue tights.
I don't blame you if you didn't know this, since part of his slogan is fighting for the American way. Kind of appropriate that this review comes between Canada Day and the 4th of July. So with how big of a legend Superman is, naturally there are tons of games based on him. And yes, I am aware of the god-awful ones like Superman 64, but today I'm talking about the death and return of Superman for the Sega Genesis. Is it comparable to it? Keep listening and find out.
That's it. A bullet. A bullet. He's faster. No, he's faster than a speeding bullet.
From my understanding, this video game is based on the comic event of the same name. Actually, even that's debatable since the original title didn't include the return part, mostly since it gives the ending away. You start off as Superman doing your basic save Metropolis duty. This time around though, Doomsday appears, an adversary actually able to match Superman's strength. In the final strike of the battle, both of them go down for good by the looks of it. After the city mourns the loss of their protector, 4 heroes calling themselves the new Superman appear. Superboy, the Man of Steel, the Eradicator, and a Superman cyborg. Not only do they claim to be able to replace Superman, but also that they are him in one way or another. Who will fill his shoes? Are any of them actually him? Well, I'm not gonna tell you. Get the game or read the comic.
And he can lift anything. Anything at all. He's that strong.
This game is best described as basic brawler. Basically, you'll walk around, jump if the mood calls for it, and repeatedly punch a bunch of people in the head. This isn't inspired, but can be fun if done well enough. And this game does it well enough. Not great, but still well. The enemies are fun to smash, the layout is well done, and it just feels like what a brawler should. Of course, you get a few extra abilities thrown in for flavor, such as a laser shot, which doesn't cause much damage but stuns enemies, and the ability to fly by pressing jump twice. And a grab, which I love in this game. Superman smashing people against a wall is just kick-ass. There are also these occasional side-scrolling shooter levels, which are mostly pretty easy, but still fun and a nice change of pace, and the constant destruction can be pretty awesome. And that's pretty much all that's awesome. That's where we hit the game's biggest fault. You don't feel like Superman. When you get hit or see Superman fall, it just makes your heart sink a bit at how weak he's portrayed. Also, your only superpowers, punching not counting as one and invulnerability missing, are the weakened laser eyes and flying. Where's the ice breath? Where's the super speed? It may be a lot to ask for, but when I think Superman, I expect a certain degree of kick-ass. Anyone else in this game would look amazingly strong, but because it's Superman characters, it just does the opposite.
But he can leap over tall buildings.
See what your cousin Frank says in Toronto.
I'm gonna make this part short, but the graphics are quite good. Once again, I'm talking about the Genesis version, but from what I've seen for the screenshots for the Super Nintendo, they're better. I want to point out that the comics came out during Superman's mullet phase, but luckily that's not apparent in the game's sprites. Who decided the symbol for all good needed to look like Billy Ray Cyrus anyways? And though the music is forgettable, I love the sound effects. When you pick up certain items, it sounds like Mystic Quest, which I found weird, but it's all about punching sounds in beat 'em up. The sound of making contact has to have that certain crack to it, and this game has it. Is this game fun? Yes. Does it do justice to Superman? No. But does it defame him? No, it's far from the disaster of Superman 64. It's almost like developers Sunsoft and Blizzard Entertainment knew they couldn't make something as awesome as Superman, so they decided just to sell for something fun. If you like brawlers, this is a perfect stress reliever. It's challenging, but not hard for the wrong reasons. For example, you get unlimited continues, balanced out by a need for life budgeting. My disappointment for the lack of super in the Superman game is really the only downside, and there aren't a whole lot of upsides, but it still comes off as a good brawler. I give the death and return of Superman for the Sega Genesis 7.5 levels out of 10. I'm Leo Melanson, and now you know the score.
Sometimes I despair the world won't end.